Tube. It is bright and early, it's 8:30 a.m. on Friday the 31st of July, and I'm here with my monthly Floss Tube review. So thank you to everyone, all my subscribers who've come back to watch me again, and if you're new here, thank you very much as well. Hope you'll stay and hit the subscribe button. Yeah, I've had a very busy month, as you will be about to find out. So, first of all, still in my old house. I'm just waiting for half an hour because I'm going to get onto my solicitor because the buyer is messing me around. Basically, he's one of these, he's an investor, he wants the house to rent, and he's waiting for me to reduce my price, and that's not going to happen. So I'm going to speak to my solicitor today about giving him a deadline and saying, look, put up or shut up, basically, because I can't carry on like this. So I'm surrounded by boxes, I'm at risk of losing my little dream home. So yeah, I'm sorry about the hair. I've not long since had a shower, so it's too wet to put up, but at least my fringe is straight now because I've had a haircut. Anyway, right, let's start with whips. Okay, first is the Year of Blackwork Sal. This is by Peppermint Purple, stitched on 32 count opal Brittany, one strand over 2. And I'm trying to remember the name of I can never remember the name of this fabric, I'm really sorry, but it never comes out true to colour anyway because it's actually a pale lemon with little hints of pink in it, but it always just looks cream. But that's the full project as we are now. I am up to date with it, and since you've last seen it, I think I've done that one. I've definitely done that one. That one, and that one. Might have done that one, not sure. But that's the completed bit at the moment. And I'm really enjoying it. And the full piece. Yep. So that's that one. Where do I put everything? It's not enough room. There was no furniture here, basically. And this chair that I'm sat on, because I've got no living room suite anymore, that went. So I'm sat on like the stitching chair from my craft room, which is really comfy, but the problem is like it leans back. So it's really difficult to sit up. Next whip. I'll show you this one next, which of course is at the bottom of the pile. This is my Temperature Garden, by Stitching Mommy here on YouTube and Etsy. That's Q-snap with nothing in it because I took it out of the Q-snap. Ready? I'm ready. Can you believe it? Now, this month, with the exception of today, where we're meant to get 30 degrees today before it going back to normal tomorrow, it has been a cold, dull, wet July. Now, obviously, from the Temperature Garden, you can't see how wet it was. Oh, forget, I can't lean back. But you can certainly see the temperatures. I've just knocked my needle minder off. Great. Where's the back gone? It's on the back of the other one there. This is where it is so far. Excuse the wrinkles. And as you can see, this is July here. Now, July should be colours like that, there. But instead, we've got colours that we had like back here in April. Was that April? I think so. It has been cold. I mean, look, we've even got greens and some blues. I've not stitched yesterday's. It was a bit warmer yesterday. But it has been cold. Today's meant to be like 30 degrees, and then it says we're back to normal tomorrow. So, but I'm really enjoying stitching on that, and I'm going to be doing it every year, I think, now. So it'll be fun next year if we do get a nice summer to see the difference on it. So that is that. Put that back in the bag. Right, next, this is where we start with the finishes, because my next whip is also 2 mini finishes. And this is the Snow Village. It's by Country Cottage Needleworks. And I'm stitching it not on the cold 4, I'm stitching it on 32 count opal Murano, 2/2. What's the colour? Cumulus, that's the colour. It's Cumulus. So this is where it is now. So I'm doing this as an auto ship through Patchwork Rabbit, so I am up to date with my auto ship, even though I'm not up to date with what has been released because I started it a couple of months later. But my finishes for this month, because I did get a bit behind when the coronavirus hit, because she couldn't send things out for a bit, so I've done this one. That's the Snow Boutique. I finished that one off. And also the snowball stand there. So those are the 2 that I've done this month. I'm using all called for except for the white, which I'm using B5200, and all the snowflakes are done with the Etoile white. But yeah, that's Snow Village. Now this is the start of all my finishes, if that makes sense, start of the finish. Because it's been a finish marathon this month, I can tell you. Hadn't intended it to be, but yeah, that's how it turned out. I'm not arguing though. I don't mind. And I have 1 FFO, but it's only a very small FFO. In fact, I'll show you that one first. It's only tiny, but it's this one. Little Grumpy Cat bookmark. It needs to be stuck down a bit better, but I only stuck it down with what came. It was a kit. I've only stuck it down with what came with the kit, and I can't get to any of my stuff. But yeah, it was a kit from mybobbin.com. And you can see a little grumpy cat there, isn't she cute? But yeah, that was my FFO. Well, semi-FFO, so it still needs to be stuck down a bit. I'm not going in order of finishes here, but I finished this one. Little tatty teddy, it's called Beautiful Butterfly, and it's a DMC kit. None of these things are ironed, by the way, simply because although my ironing board is in the dining room, I have no idea where my iron is. It could be anywhere, could be at my mum's as well. But yeah, finished that. Just finished that last night, actually. Something else I finished last night. It's so tiny. I've been working on this for years, but that's because it's my car project and I'm never in the car. So just for the sake of something to stitch on, I pulled this out last night. And it's just 8 little robins. And my idea is I'm just going to cut these out and put them onto cards as card toppers. My little Christmas cards with them, but these were out of Cross Stitch Crazy. A few years ago, they were gift tags. Yeah, said by the DM, the Tatty Teddy one was. That was just on 14 count Ada, the other one was 14 count Ada. And this one, this was a kit that was sent to me from my friend Sandra in Australia. Hi, Sandra. A year or 2 ago. She sent me a little package with a few bits, and I wasn't expecting this at all. And Mum was with me when we opened it, and we both sort of went, oh, when we saw it, because it was so beautiful. And it's one of these projects that's been in the back of my mind ever since. I, really wanted to start it. Anyway, I was watching, can't remember her channel name, I think it's Stitching Michaela. I was watching one of her videos, because I'm behind on Floss Tube, I think I'm at the end of April at the moment. It was one of her videos and she's stitching on it. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, got to do it. So I started it and finished it in 4 days. But this is it. Again, I apologise for the wrinkles. Oh, bad light, sorry. This is, oh God, Summer Dreams. It's by Luca S. It came as a kit and I stitched it as the kit. It's on 16 count, I think, 16 count white Ada. The reason why I kept it on the kit fabric and I didn't change it was simply because I think it looks really nice on the white. I did think about like putting it on a blue, but I like the contrast with the white. I just think it looks really nice. The kit floss was Anchor. I haven't worked with Anchor for a while because I do have a little Anchor stash, and do you know, I much prefer stitching with Anchor than DMC. It's a much smoother cotton. You know, it glides through the fabric a lot nicer. But yeah, I absolutely love it. I want to have it framed professionally, even though it's only a small one, just because I want a mat on it. But yeah, so that was that. So thank you, Sandra, so much for that. I love it. Now the next finish is the big one. So first of all, I'll say I did do the 24-hour cross stitch weekend last weekend, but I didn't sort of talk about it on social media. Well, so social media, I'm only on Instagram, apart from here, obviously. But I didn't mention it on Instagram simply because I was so close to finishing that I didn't really want to put any pictures on. But what I will do here is I put in pictures of my before and after my 24 hours of cross stitch. So I'll put the pictures in here. So the first one is before I started the 24 hours of cross stitch, and the second one is afterwards. So I'll put those in here. So what I will tell you, I'll just get my little pad that I kept all my records on. I did a total of 3,257 stitches. I did 3.78% of the pattern, and I spent 23 hours on it. Now, the way I work my 24 hours of cross stitch is, for me, because I stitch, you know, morning to night, day in, day out, it's not a challenge just to say, oh yeah, you know, I'll sit down now and start, and then get up to go to the loo, or, you know, get a cup of tea or what have you, because that's how I live every day. So what I do is I set a timer for an hour and I stitch solidly for an hour. If I have to like answer the phone or cuddle a cat or what have you, then I pause the timer. So that was 23 hours of solid stitching, and that's the best one that I've managed so far. So what does the finish look like? Well, here we go. This is Mini Butterfly Pink by Heaven and Earth Designs. She is stitched on 18 count white Ada, 2/1 full cross, and here she is. Upside down. She is the right way up. Isn't she beautiful? I love her. I did wash her afterwards using Pam from Pam's Crafty Corner. Hi Pam. Using Pam's tutorial. Although I say using her tutorial, I only got to like halfway through it, because when I got to the ironing part, of course, like I said, can't find my iron. But I did wash it the way that she suggests, and I think it has come up really nicely. But yeah, it's made the stitches like tighter so that, you know, you can't see through, even though like where the DMC, where it's been 939 and 310, you can't see anything through them, you know, on 18 count. So if anybody is sort of scared of doing a mini or scared of doing one on bigger fabric, I hope you can see that 18 count is absolutely fine. And in fact, my mum, who, you know, all the finishes she's had, she stitches all of hers on 18 count. But yeah. So I just have one other whip to show you, which I should have put in before, but where's it gone? It's in front of me. And this is what I am now working on, because you haven't seen this one for a long, long time. Simply because when my whip count got too high for me, I think it was up to about 7 at one point, which is too much for me. I decided that I would work on the smaller things and get those done before going, sort of working back to my bigger ones. But then other things crept in as well. So this one hasn't been touched for I think about 3 years. It just sat in a bag, languishing, feeling sorry for itself, and me feeling very guilty because I do love it. And it's a Heaven and Earth design. It's called Ashley Gardens by artwork by Dennis Lewin. It's not actually on Haid anymore, but I will insert a picture of what it will look like finished here. And it's 66 pages and I'm on page 12. Yeah, so I'll show you before I talk any more about it, but that is what I have done so far. Again, please excuse the wrinkles. I did give her a wash yesterday because, as you might be able to see, right across the middle is a yellow line, and that's because I started this in 2014 when I didn't know about, sewing edges instead of taping them, and the tape, I don't know whether you can see in that middle bit there, it left a yellow mark. So I tried washing it to see if it would get it out, and it hasn't, but it doesn't really matter because it's going to be stitched over. But there was sort of a dual purpose to washing it, and that was because I hate this fabric. Hate it. Because it's stitched 1/1 full cross, and it's a 25 count Murano. Now the problem is this particular Murano is a very loose weave, and I was finding that, the stitches I have to do a really loose tension because the stitches just slip underneath each other. So I wondered if by washing it might stiffen it up a bit, and I think it might have done, but obviously until I start stitching on it, I don't know. But yeah, that's 11 pages across the top, plus sort of like half of page 12 where I've started on the tree there. And from what I can remember, there was a mistake somewhere, but I guess I'll find that out. Now, the real downside to working on this is that it's not on Pattern Keeper, because I really did find that when I started working with Pattern Keeper with Mini Butterfly Pink, it made a world of difference. But unfortunately, I can't do that with this. I can't even, because I bought a hard copy, and I can't even go back and buy the PDF because, like I say, she doesn't sell them on Haid anymore. Whether they must have run out of the copyright or what have you. So I'm going to have to go back to working on a paper chart. I'm not looking forward to it. I mean, yes, I could upload, scan the PDF in and use Goodreader, but I was never... Goodreader, it was all right for my... what's it called? It's up on the wall up there. Chatelaine. Because it was great for zooming in and seeing bits, but I was just never keen on using it as, for marking my charts off. And I've got so used to Pattern Keeper where I can, where you highlight your symbol and you can see exactly where you're stitching, that Goodreader just doesn't do it for me anymore. So I'm going to go back to my good old paper and pen method, but I'm not looking forward to it, but I'm really looking forward to stitching on this again. I can't wait. So I've got because they're on the biggest 37-inch, the Millennium frame. Problem is, I can't find my long arm adapter. And from what I remember, I've packed it somewhere. I had a look in a few boxes that are here yesterday, and I can't find it, so I think it's at my mum's. So I'm just going to have to make do without the long arm adapter, and I'm not sure how that's going to work, but I'll give it a try. It's either that or I don't work on it at all. So yeah, the only other thing I wanted to show you was I got to see my mum 2 days ago. It's actually a good job I went when I did, because as of midnight last night, in the area of the country I live, households aren't allowed to mix in houses anymore, because the coronavirus cases have risen like round here. So they've banned us from, like, you can meet up like in the garden, but you can't meet inside the house. So I actually went inside Mum's house the other day, and I managed to get a photograph of her whip. And she's done loads since I last saw her, even though she says, oh, I never get time to work on it. She's done loads. So so I'm going to put a picture in. Sorry, it's just somebody walking past my window and I get a bit self-conscious. She is working on a mystic stitch pattern, and it's called Lavender Lane. If I can find a picture of what it will look like finished, I'll put that in here. And this is where she is now. Isn't it beautiful? I can't wait to see it finished, which probably won't be much longer, knowing my mum. And then what she's done, the full coverage I'm going to start after I finish this one in 35 years' time, is, I think that's a Mystic Stitch, isn't it? And it's called Blue Skies, and I got the full kit from Country Designs, who actually have 25% off all kits at the moment. So yeah, I'll link his website down below, so go and check out the lovely Colin at Country Designs. But yeah, I got it fully kitted up from there about a year or two ago, and my mum has always loved it. Well, anyway, what I did when Pattern Keeper came out is that I repurchased them as PDFs so that I could have it on Pattern Keeper. So that meant that I had, excuse me, got itchy eye, had a spare hard copy. And my mum was like, oh, because she's been going on and on at me to stitch it. And I was like, well, you know, I didn't want another big full coverage. It's not as big as this one, but I didn't want two big full coverages going at the same time. So I said, well, as soon as I finish this one, I'll get onto that one. But anyway, with having this spare hard copy, I said to Mum, well, you know, because she kept saying, oh, I'd love to stitch it myself. So I said, well, do you want the hard copy? So she's like, yes. So she got it, and then we've kitted it up. And she wants to start it next. So I said, but the problem is, I said, if you're stitching it, then I want to stitch it as well. So I might end up having two full coverages going at the same time, even though I don't particularly want to. But there's another full coverage that we've also both got as well, and it's having an Earth Design mini soaring free, I think it is, and we've both got that as well. And but you know, she thinks, oh, it'll be too much competition, you know, if we're both doing it. I think it'll be good. You know, we'll spur each other along with it. I'm quite sure she will win. But yeah, I thought it'd be interesting just to do it along with her. So I think that's everything I wanted to show. Oh, got some haul, which I've left upstairs. Be back in a minute. It's me again. I missed a finish. I also stitched this one. I thought I was missing something. This was Love Stitching by Mill Hill, which is really, you can't, like, it's got beads on. I don't know how well you can see, and it's got Krynic on as well. And a little scissor charm. Little bead chain. I couldn't FFO it because it needs felt on the back. Simply because although I can get to my felt, my adhesive is packed away. So yeah, but anyway, insert that one quickly. Right, I'm back. Yeah, now haul-wise, I've been trying to be really careful because just with, I need to save all my pennies at the moment because with hopefully moving house. So yeah, so these two I actually bought last month. but they only came this month, and they are 2 patterns by Designs by Lisa. And they're only little patterns. This is the first one, and it's called Nice Things. You see a little kitty there? Then it says, the reason I can't have nice things, pointing to the cat. As any of us, especially with cats, but with pets in general, know. Yeah. And this other one is, this feels very true at the moment with everything that's going on with the house, but I'd like you more if you were a cat. Yeah. But yeah, just two little tiny patterns, which I thought just too nice just to pass up, really. But that's it. Charlie's just coming to say hi. Say hi, Charlie. Look at yeah. It was your birthday yesterday, wasn't it? Yeah. You were 11, weren't you, yesterday? Yes. Purring away. Yeah, look up here. Yeah. Oops. Yeah, so from me and Charlie, we hope you have, try and enjoy the next month as much as you can. Oh, sorry, you get moved around a bit. And hopefully I will be in my new house this time next month. So until then, we'll see you again. Bye.